Darkness swallowed the mansion whole. Moonlight, fractured by grimy window panes, painted skeletal patterns on the dusty floor. The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of dampness and decay. A low groan, the sound of the old house settling, echoed through the empty halls. A young girl, Maya, stood frozen in the doorway. Her eyes, wide, with a mixture of fear and fascination, struggled to pierce the gloom. She had heard the stories, whispered by the locals, tales of the abandoned mansion at the edge of town, a place where shadows danced and spirits roamed. Maya's grandmother, once a servant in this very house, had filled her childhood with stories of its former occupants, stories of lavish parties and tragic deaths, of love and betrayal, all playing out against the backdrop of this grand old mansion. Now, armed with a flashlight and her grandmother's fading memories, Maya had come to uncover the truth for herself. The floorboards creaked under her hesitant steps, each groan echoing loudly in the silence. Dust motes danced in the beam of her flashlight, swirling like tiny ghosts disturbed from their slumber. She ran her hand along the cold, damp wall, feeling the rough texture of peeling paint beneath her fingertips. As she ventured deeper into the heart of the mansion, a new sound reached her ears, a faint whisper, barely audible above the creaking of the house. It seemed to be coming from the floor above, a soft, mournful sound that sent shivers down her spine. Her heart pounded in her chest. Fear urged her to turn back, to flee the oppressive darkness of the mansion, but curiosity, a thirst to uncover the secrets hidden within these crumbling walls, propelled her forward. Taking a deep breath, Maya began to climb the grand staircase, its once polished wooden steps now covered in a thick layer of dust and neglect. The whispers grew louder with each step, sending chills down her spine. They seemed to be calling to her, beckoning her towards the shadows that clung to the top of the stairs. Reaching the top of the stairs, Maya paused, her breath catching in her throat. The whispers were clearer now, tinged with a sadness that seemed to seep into her bones. They seemed to originate from the end of the hallway, from behind a large, ornately carved wooden door. A cold draught brushed against her cheek, carrying with it the scent of mildew and something faintly metallic. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end. Slowly, her hand trembling, she reached for the doorknob. It was cold to the touch, sending a jolt of fear through her. The door creaked open, revealing a small, dusty attic room. Moonlight streamed through a crack in the boarded-up window, illuminating cobwebs and scattered piles of forgotten belongings. And there, in the center of the room, was a small wooden rocking chair, swaying gently back and forth as if propelled by an unseen hand. The whispers seemed to emanate from the rocking chair, swirling around it like a ghostly embrace. As Maya watched, mesmerized, a single word began to form amidst the whispers, repeated over and over again. A name, Anya, the whispers sighed. Anya, Anya, Anya. A sudden crash from the far end of the attic broke the spell. Spinning around, Maya shone her flashlight towards the source of the noise. There, half hidden behind a pile of rotting furniture, was a small wooden chest, its lid hanging open as if someone had just forced it open. Cautiously, Maya approached the chest, her heart pounding in her ears. She shone her flashlight into its depths, expecting to find more forgotten belongings, but instead, she recoiled with a gasp. Nestled amongst the faded velvet lining of the chest lay a human skeleton, small and delicate, like that of a child, clutching a tarnished silver locket in its bony fingers. Maya reached out, her fingers brushing against the cold, smooth surface of the locket. As she lifted it from the chest, it swung open, revealing a miniature portrait of a young girl with hauntingly familiar eyes and a name engraved on the back. Anya. The rocking chair in the center of the room suddenly stopped its eerie swaying. A cold hand seemed to grip Maya's shoulder, and a voice, cold and filled with sorrow, whispered directly into her ear, "Thank you for finding me."